Hey everyone, this is a quick video to counsel you on how to use the correction log. I've had a lot of questions via email concerning that. I'm sorry about some of the confusion. I was updating the file for you and apparently it didn't copy over to every section. So it should be working now. If there is a problem, send me an email. You'll notice that there isn't an actual Dropbox for the correction log. That's because it is an assignment that you will be working on all semester long, and it will actually be one of the major assignments that you'll turn in for your portfolio. So you'll have a group of drop boxes underneath the portfolio that that I will make available to you closer to the exam, and you'll submit those there. You'll submit that Dropbox there, or you'll submit that file there to the appropriately titled Dropbox. Okay, so let's start going over this here. Make it a little bigger for you. So we're going to go down to illustration. This is the last item in the module. Composition correction log revised. We're going to click on it. You see you can't type anything in there right now, so you have to download it. And you should see a box pop up that looks like this. Let's get that up for you. And of course you're going to hit OK. So once you go over here, you'll hit OK. You'll see that it downloads, and there's the log. So let me get rid of that screen capture too, so you can see it. And here is the correction log. Now, how do we use the correction log? Well, let's go here like this for you, and I'm going to shrink the view so we can all see it correctly. Okay. You see here that you have these columns here, and this is the error type, the textbook resource. There's a practice column. For my online students, you really won't fill this out. This is just for my face-to-face students who use this in class for an in-class practice exercise. But you see here that you have an item referred to as that's illustration, and that'll be the first place that you start adding data. You also see that you have some codes for the different textbooks and resources. So you have Writing Matters. WTC refers to things that make writing teachers cringe. Successful College Writing refers to the main textbook. And so there's exercises in each of these, or pages that deal with the issues for my comments. So let's say you get a comment that deals with the issue of word choice. I'll usually put something in like WC for that. You'll see sometimes in the comment section I'll write word choice, and then in parentheses I'll put WC, and then after that I'll put WC the rest of the time. You would go to your Writing Matters textbook and you would look up Style Matters, that section, or Language Matters. That would be one option to look at as well. But let's look up Style Matters. And you would look at this section. This is actually chapter 31. And they have a section called Choosing Appropriate Language, and they have a section called Choosing Effective Words. So I'm going to assume that the issue here is that you didn't select effective words. So you would put in WM, which is your textbook resource, and then you would put in 548, the page number that you can go look at and start working on exercises in that with that issue. Exactly. So here, let's say you have five of these WCs in my comments. Then you would write the number 5. You'd write how many however many you have. So let's say the error was second person. Right? A lot of you had issue with that. You find information on that for in things that make writing teachers cringe. That's number 9. And let's say there are some papers, believe it or not, that had 25 marks of that. So what you're doing here is you're tracking. This document is for you to track errors. And the goal is that each paper that you do, you have fewer and fewer of these errors. And you'll find sometimes new errors will pop up. Like as MLA becomes more and more important, you would maybe get a comment on parenthetical or in-text citation. Um, And so in your Writing Matters textbook, you have a whole chapter dealing with MLA that you should be your best friend now. You should start looking at that constantly. That's under, I believe, Citation Matters is the part. Let's look at that. Documentation Matters. And then the Documenting Sources MLA style is 288. So we would want to look at in-text citations. And we have that creating MLA style in-text citations begins on page 288 in Writing Matters. So we would do this. Okay? And if you have a number of those errors, you would put however many. Now, after this paper, I'll rarely comment over, rarely mark an error more than 5 times. For some of you, particularly the second person, I marked it a number of times because it was so glaring. Even though it appeared in lecture videos, it appeared on things that make writing teachers cringe, and I talk about it incessantly. So my hope is that you get the point that second person is not a good choice for you with your writing in any situation, but particularly in an academic setting. You do not want to be using second person. It's just one of our many standards for writing. So that is how you fill out this log. Now, after you are done, what I want you to do is you'll go over to here and you'll actually save it. And you won't see this pop-up box, but you should be saving it to your desktop. That's what I'm doing right now. And then every time you get comments back on a paper, like your next paper is division and classification, and then you also have a definition paper. Definition is going to be a little different because my face-to-face students are going to do that in class. And then those of you that are online students will actually do that in Connect using their software. And we'll talk about that. I'll have to post a video for that. And then you have comparison, and then you have cause and effect. And those different rhetorical modes will make up your portfolio. And how you're going to use this at the end of the semester is you'll actually submit this. If you're an online student, you will submit this in a Dropbox underneath the portfolio. Then you'll have a Dropbox where you submit a corrected version of illustration, a corrected version of division and classification, a corrected version of definition, a corrected version of comparison, and a corrected version of cause and effect. Each of those worth 10 points, and then you'll submit your final exam essay, and that essay will talk about this process and what you learned about your writing practice and how to be a better writer. You'll get a more specific prompt, obviously, when we get closer. But if you have any questions on this, feel free to email me. If you have not downloaded Microsoft Office yet through LSEO, if you are still using a different word processor, please download Microsoft Office. It's free. We offer it for free up to 5 computers. I can post a tutorial video if enough people request it, but it's really easy to do, and there's really no excuse to not have it. I've been able to open this document on a computer using 2007, on a computer using a Mac using 2013, so I know it opens on pretty much every PC. I haven't tried it on a Windows 10 machine yet, but it shouldn't be any problem there either. Heck, it even opens on Word on my phone, although I don't recommend using that. So be sure that you download this, you fill it out based on my comments, and that you fill it out for every paper based on my comments. And remember, your goals is to get less marks in these columns as you go. You want the marks to actually go down. All right. Hope